Because I covered this all before, I'm just going to do a quick recap. The cross and the pyramids. So you see, that's the air symbol, for he is a principality over the air, Satan, right? Okay, one pyramid for masculine energy, one for feminine energy, and earth. I'm coming back to the earth in a bit. And it's also the symbol for pedophilia, the bad shepherd. Okay, like I said, Satan is the principality over the air. Remember air. So you see there's your air symbol, water, earth, and fire. These are your four elements, and I will come back to the elements. Okay, so you see you can't buy a sell without it, right? The mark of the beast, you see air, and there you go. He is a principality over the money. So I used to think that the black community, the Hebrew Israelites, were daddy's people. But we're not Israelites. They're correct. There are Israelites because Israel is for Is, Ra, and El. That's what it is, the Egyptian gods. Okay? So you take the pyramid, the male energy up, female energy down. You place them one on top of each other. That is a so-called Star of David because there's no Star of David. This is for androgynous. They want to make us in their image. That's why they push this so much in this community. And in God we trust is for their God of fortune, Gadriel. So in the scripture, it says that Yahuwah is enthroned above the circle of the earth, and the people are grasshoppers. You see, so that's the circle, and the cross is for Adam, because Adam means red clay, and we were made from the earth. There's a people that are made from the earth, and then there's the star seeds. Those are the children of Cain, the Canaanites, because they are from the union of Eve and the serpent. I covered that before. I'm going to touch on it again. So as you see, these are your seven illuminaries, and you see how there's the cross is for the earth, and you see Mercury, the little cross right there is red for Adam is red, and they're trying to put the you see the moon on top for the worship of the moon goddess. Okay, on your head, so it could be your head. You see it again. Okay, so I'm also going to share this article and a video on the laminin gene. I hope I'm saying it correctly. You see how it's a cross as well, so I'll be sharing this as well. Okay, so we are considered in the Americas the West. Okay, the West. Okay, again, like I said, Adam means red earth, red clay. So we are considered the West. So we were given guardianship of the earth. Okay, the earth. And here is the north. He is the principality of what? The air, the wind. So this is the north. I'm going to share the elements in a minute with you guys. So, okay, so this is the Hopi prophecy. So the Hopi prophecies, you see, this is earth, this is air, fire, and water. Okay, so we were given guardianship, the four nations, the four colors over an element. So the red nations got the earth element. Okay, the yellow nations were the Mongolians. They're trying to run everything. They're running everything right now. They got air, principality over the air. The fire, the white races. That's what they're setting everything on fire. And the black races were given the element of water. That's where you get the marine kingdom, the Moors, mermaids. This is where you get how you call it, like how the beast comes out of the sea. So they have the guardianship over the waters. And the Vatican was originally founded by the Moors. I will cover that in a minute.
Laminin is a crucial structural protein found in the extracellular matrix, especially within the basement membrane that supports and anchors cells. Its unique cross-shaped structure allows it to bind cells to surrounding proteins like collagen, acting as a molecular glue that holds tissues together. Beyond structure, laminin also sends signals that guide cell growth, differentiation, migration, and survival. It plays a vital role in embryonic development, wound healing, and maintaining muscles, skin, and blood vessels. When laminin is defective, serious conditions like muscular dystrophy can occur. Without laminin, tissues would lose stability, organization, and proper function.
Ham and Japhet are the Gentile nations, and the Hebrews come from Shem. So Ham is Africa, India, and then you have Eurasia, which is Japhet, Europe and Asia, the Mongol Empire, because this is why they are the Mongolians are coming together with Ham against the children of Yahuwah. Okay, so here we go. This is the ones that are behind the BRICS nations: Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. Okay, and like I said, there are Mongolians. The book of Revelation, it tells you Gog and Magog, which is Russia and China. That's who they are. That's who they are. They're Mongols. Give me a second. Okay, so this is the Mongolian flag. I explained before what the two pillars on the side represents. The center, I'm going to show you something in a minute. Okay, the top, this is a worship of the sun and moon. The fire above, because the white nations are over the elements of fire. And that's why they're burning everything right now, right? Okay. And like I explained before, they are the ones that created Islam. Christendom, they're the ones behind these Abrahamic religions. It's all the same demon. One big giant demon, that's what it is. It's the religions of the fallen. Religions. Ra for the sun god. Legions for we are many.
Tucker is now pushing for the United States to give up its position as the #1 superpower in the world.
We can no longer be the sole author of terms, of commerce, of anything. We have to share power.
With China.
Of course, because of their scale.
So what I would do is basically sit down everyone, okay, including Russia, China, Iran, and say it's time for a new world order where we are partners in this relationship. Right? Before America was a hegemon, before the US dollar was the world reserve currency. But now what we want to do is open a dialogue where everyone is respected, where America is no longer the bully, but a willing partner in creating a new economic order that benefits everyone and not just a few.
I think that's the wisest possible advice and probably the only path that preserves civilization. But the one country standing in the way of that is Israel.
Carlson is quite literally a UN globalist Alexander Duganite, the furthest thing possible from a guy who's America first.
Back to the Hopi prophecies. So the guardianship of these 4 elements were all given tablets, sacred tablets. So the red nations tablets are in Arizona. The yellow tablets for the yellow nations, the principality over the air, there are in Tibet. Switzerland for the white nations. And Africa, Ethiopia, has the tablets. And you know how they tell you that Ethiopia has the world's oldest Bible? Okay, that is Christendom. For those that don't know, those are Gentile nations. Ethiopians are Gentile nations. And King Solomon got together with the Queen of Sheba, who happened to be an Ethiopian, and she broke up the kingdom of Solomon. She divided it because he started to worship other gods because of her. And Yahuwah took the northern kingdom away from him. So he is the keeper of the rings. So that the rings, I'm going to show you what that is. That is the demons. Okay, so I'm going to share that. In King Solomon, I'm going to share this guy's video. He was not a black Moor. You will find that in the reading. He either was ruddy or he was tan. He wasn't a black Moor. So yeah, so Ethiopians, again, those are Gentile nations. You will find that in the reading of Kings, that he lost the northern kingdom when he got with Queen Sheba, who was Ethiopian.
Emojis are demonic sigils? What are you saying?
Yeah, the original 72 emojis. They're not just little faces, not just cute little symbols we throw around in texts. No, they're demonic sigils. Actual sigils. Spells. Hidden right in plain sight. You ever heard of the Lesser Key of Solomon, the ancient book? The book where King Solomon wrote down symbols to control and summon demons. You know how many there were? 72. 72! Same number as the first emojis ever created for Windows, Mac, iOS, everywhere. Coincidence? Nah. Look at this. See the laughing emoji? The one with the X's for eyes? That's a sigil. The tongue emoji? Exact match with a demonic seal. Look at this one. Come on. This one, look at the zipper mouth emoji. You think that's random? No. It's a symbol for silence. A spell. And check this out. See the one with the teeth? The big, exaggerated grin? Compare it to this ancient sigil. It's identical. Identical! You still think this is an accident? A fluke? Man, every single emoji we've been using, laughing, crying, even the damn heart emoji, it's all part of something bigger. We've been using these symbols for years, not knowing what they really mean. So when you send that little yellow face, ask yourself, what are you really summoning?
This is just a
72 face core emojis. 72. The same number as the number of demonic powers in the Ars Goetia. One side note here, the actual version of the emojis published by the Unicode is this sigilistic black and white version, which is much closer to the original seals than the cartoonized, fully rendered versions available on devices. Dizzy face is Marbus. Face with look of triumph is Baal. Nerd face is Malthus. So on and so forth.
original AI is ancient. Demons are the original AI. They are spirit programs. They are reactive background processes. They are not creative. They've been around much longer than 1963. Solomon controlled at least 72 demons, and Solomon's time was much more advanced and much more organic, holistic technology. He controlled them with the seal of Solomon. He was the Lord of the Ring of demons. In Islam, they're known as jinn or genies. This is where we get the genie in a lamp. They can also be installed and uninstalled from people's bodies. They are commonly installed in traumatic moments, like hospital birth and circumcision. Solomon uses them to build the temple, employing the Shamir, another organic AI. That's where we get carvings like this and this. This organic tech was worldwide. It's written about across many cultures. Fallen angels are demons, spirit programs, and people crossbred with them. People farm demons to make drone armies. Demons have been positioned throughout the world like watchdogs. Some of these clones even severed their ties with their origins. That's what the World Wars or Reset Wars were. A severance. That's what the Battle of Gog and Magog is. That's what the orphan trains are, and the orphan asylums. Dissemination centers for programs. They are easily mass-possessed for war and major societal changes. We are living in the Clone Wars. They are used like Doeg the Edomite to absorb karma. All the drones are compartmentalized. This keeps them stuck in vanity traps because they've been separated from others. They've been severed from reality, aka dream life. They never really dream, just memories and REM trance at best. True insomnia, mass insomnia. The severance from their dreams allows them to be used as dream portals for attack. The dreams have always been the front line in the war. The separation from the dream or reality allows people to do heinous things like this, and the spirit programs were already implanted long ago, if not generations ago. Heaven is base reality, aka dreams, real dreaming. And the dreamers are waking up. We are transitioning to the other side of the loop. The Bible is an explanation of the loop of events. One season is the producer's season, one season is the parasites. The dreamers are the hosts for this reality. As they wake up, all the demons become activated, all the projections, all the background processes. Personalities are demons, programs that grow inside of you from the point of a trauma or from a high stress situation. We have been split. People are split within, and the crossbreeding has created more fragmentation. Now people reincarnate randomly across the grid, and soul groups are fragmented, so when people meet, it seems more random. The separation allows for infiltration and usurpation. It's all about the identity theft. Take the identity and take the real Holy Land to invert the world, making it more hospitable for parasites.
So America was the land of Canaan, and we were strangers in a strange land. And America and throughout the world ran on AI technology. And Joshua and the tribes of Israel fought the Canaanites and took possession of the land of Canaan. So this is for goddess worship. You see? MV, Virgin Mary. So this is the matrix. For matrix means the matriz, the womb of the goddess. You see, the fertility goddess. This is how the matrix works. It's a big computer. So these are your Abrahamic religions. This is the black cube of Saturn worship. This is what it is. So the fake Jews wear it on the forehead. The Muslim walk around the cube, and the cross is actually a cube. So they said that you will not be able to buy a cell without it. So this is going to be your future. So everything is going to be scanned into the cube. And eventually, in order for you to buy or sell, you will have to have the device in your body to be able to buy or sell. So you're going to be in the cube. This is where you're going to be connected to internet, the goddess. That's who she is. And she's androgynous, like I said. That's why they pushed this so much. They want you in her image. You see, she is the Spider Woman. That's who she is. And this technology, like I said, has been around for a long time. The Egyptians had it. That's what it is. AI has been around for a very, very long time. And it's just back. The king of AI is back. AI is demonic. It's a Luciferian force. So the original Jews were black, not Hebrews, but Jews. The Limba tribe of South Africa. Then there is what? Beta Israel from Ethiopia, the lost tribe of Dan. Dan was the tribe that broke off the tree of life. Remember that Queen Sheba and King Solomon had a son. So those are your Jews. Remember, Jews and Hebrew are not the same people. So, okay, what it tells you that Jews were, okay, Negroid type with black, they were black, swarthy people, right? They're not copper color, they're swarthy and woolly hair. That's the Jews. And like I explained before, the Rh negative bloodline, because they're mixed with the Neanderthal races, right? And over time, they got lighter and lighter. Because the Rothschilds were also black. They just got lighter and lighter. And so were the Russians, the Asians, the Mongolian tribe, the Grand Tataria. They were all melanated. They just got lighter and lighter because they mixed with them. And like I said, the Rothschild family were black. Edomia, those are the sons. Esau calls his sons dukes. That is the monarch. That's who they are. Okay, that's a snake in the middle for the Canaanites, right? Because, like I explained before, there's two bloodlines. Eve had relations with the serpent, and Cain produced Cain. And these are the descendants of Cain. The serpents, he killed Abel. And then these are the descendants of Adam. You see how it starts with whom? Seth, right? So that means if Cain was his son, why did he not list them as his son? Because he's not. They're two different bloodlines. So there's the bloodline of Adam and the bloodline of the Canaanites. The Ethiopian calendar, which is the Creator's 13-month calendar. So 2012 is really 2019, 2020, which is the Great Awakening. So there's a movie called 2012, right? It's about the ending of the world, black president, deep impact, black president. Because I told you Obama's coming back. Even Dave Chappelle had a skit that he was a black president during when? When the world is ending and there goes the aliens and he's called Bible, right? And I made a teaching on Bible. Okay, the God is Bible. Because it's the book of the law. It's not the Bible. Okay? And you have to remember when Japhet came to the Americas and they enslaved the Hamites, the Canaanites. They weren't here because of genocide, our people, and they enslaved the black people that were in the Americas, the Moors here. You got to understand, what did they bring to our territories? Everybody would tell you that in the islands, the Africans brought what? They brought voodoo, santeria, because they work with the dead. Just like the Catholics, it's the same people. They work with the dead. There's a God of the dead and the God of the living. And Yahushua says, I am the God of the living, not the dead.
Rothschild is deeply meaningful when translated into Hebrew. Perhaps the German Jewish name Rothschild is directly transliterated into Hebrew letter by letter to mimic its sound, rather than translated into Hebrew word by word to convey its hidden meaning, because the correct Hebrew translation of the German word Rothschild is Magen Edom, meaning shield of the Edomites. The Hebrew word Edom means red, as well as the nation of Edom descended from Esau, Jacob's evil twin. The name Edom is composed of the word Adam, Aleph, Dalet, Mem, plus the serpent letter Vav, which is a pictogram of a snake. The Hebrew word Edom signifies the joining of the holy bloodline of Eve with the satanic seed of the serpent through their son Cain by adding a snake, a Vav, to the name Adam. Edom is literally spelled Adam, who is also Eve, plus the snake of Vav in the Garden of Eden, to graphically and cryptically portray Judaism's secret doctrine that Gentiles are the satanic offspring of the evil serpent and Eve. Eve herself is said to be the evil, tempting female side of Adam, which means that Gentiles derive entirely from evil and have no redeeming qualities whatsoever. Many of the leading Rothschilds have had a messiah complex and acted as dynastical kings of the Jews, like King David. They adopted a coat of arms that mimics the German Jewish royal houses of Hanover and Saxe-Coburg and Gotha, as well as the Royal Scottish and related regal coat of arms of Great Britain, which came to be ruled by those same German Jewish royal houses. The German Jewish monarchs of Great Britain changed the name of their house to Windsor in 1917 to conceal their German Jewish roots shortly before Lord Balfour issued his declaration to Lord Walter Rothschild in the name of the King's majestic government. The unicorn signifies God, the Messiah son of David, and the Sapphira Hesed, the mercy and love he brings to the Jewish people in the form of the rainbow. The lion is the unicorn's archenemy, Satan, the Messiah son of Joseph, and stands for Samael and the red planet Mars, and the Sapphira Din and Gevurah, the judgment, punishment, and power of Satan. The Sephirotic Rothschild coat of arms contains a red shield behind the moon of Yesod, the Sapphira of the two messiahs. It also exhibits the six-pointed Magen David, or Shield of David, on the left-hand evil side. Rothschild is deeply meaningful.
See how it says the primary bloodline partners of the black nobility, the Rothschilds? You see everybody keeps saying that they're a front for the black nobility? No, they're part of black nobility. You see how this looks like a light-skinned black guy? It's because he is. These are the recessive genes. So when Meyer worked under Bauer, he worked for them, which he's part of this family, because they're the same people. As Hess, this was black nobility. When they came out as Rothschilds, by then they already had the lighter-skinned versions of their recessions. And this is what they started to go under, right? What they had been doing was already mixing and breeding with each other and then making their clones or their slaves and mixing with them. And this is their symbolism. Frankfurt, 16th century, the family name comes from Zum Rotten Shachal at the sign of the red shield. The Rot child, the rotten child. And look at the emblem. They're supposed to say that they came from the ghetto, right? No, they are their creation. These are the same black nobility having incest and sleeping with each other. The same deities, whether you want to call them Moor, all the different versions. Whether you believe they believe Jewishly or as black Jews, whether you believe they believe in Allah, they are all the same deities. They're the rotten child. So they give you this version. Oh, they're incubator babies. They're incubator babies. Oh, black nobility put them there. Yeah, black nobility put them there, but they're black nobility too. They're just an incest recessive version. Rothschild, red shield. It said the Star David or the Shield of David. David's supposed to be seen as ruddy. Look at this red ruddy.
Or Esau was ruddy, just like King David. Ruddy means red-brown or copper-colored.
Do you understand these deities? The term Rothschild translates from a German as red shield, with the hexagram or 6-point chart has become a central part of the family's history. And this is that red star, right? The Shield of David star, the 6-point star that they started putting on that shield. Hexagram, which was already used in occult traditions way before. Of the royalty and nobility families are from these same gods, these same deities. This is who they worship. They like cannibalism. They that reptilian nature. They can shapeshift.
I just want to reiterate that shit. This is the wife of a Rothschild. She is passing for white. She's actually black. She is an albino. An albino family controls the Rothschilds. Again, you see her? You can't tell me that she's not black. But she is Elizabeth Day Rothschild. I'm going to help y'all out because I know a lot of y'all don't know this. There are 5 families of the Moors. They are the Bays, the Els, the Ills, the Alis, and the Days. She is Elizabeth Day Rothschild. She's a Moor. Y'all get what I'm trying to fucking tell you. And if there's a fucking Moor brave enough to call me wrong, bring your ass forward. Cause bitch, the fact that I know about the fucking 5 families. The fucking 5 families that come from the fucking 3 roots. And who are the 3 roots of the Moors? Mauritania, Morocco, and motherfucking Carthardis. Hanbal. Yes. Hannibal was supposed to be a fucking Moor. The Galamantes. That's their fucking name. It was the Moor, the Mauritanians, the Moroccans, and the Galamantans. Those are the 3 clans of the Moors. From those 3 clans broke down into 5 families. The Bays, the Days, the Ills, the Alis, and the motherfucking Els. She is a Moor. She is an albino passing for white. She is a Rothschild. And the only way a Rothschild can be seen as a legitimate bloodline is if they have black blood inside of them. These are Rothschilds. See how black they look? You feel me? You see how black they look? Especially him. See that? See how black he looks? What they always said about us, we have big ears, a strong jawline, and a big nose. But these are Rothschilds, though. These supposed to be white people, though. They're not white. They're passing for white. These are albinos. When I say they are self-sustaining albinos, this is what I mean. They are self-sustaining albinos. I love it because can't nobody fucking prove me wrong. But I want you to try and prove me wrong. Go ahead. Go ahead and think that we gonna let crackers be a part of this fucking war and not have our blood inside of them. Orphan trained kids. Don't ever forget that orphan trained kids can't survive outside of 2 generations unless they're mixed with someone. But prove me wrong. I want it to happen, folks. Prove me wrong.
India was black. The Indian slave trade is an inversion of history. Mutants took over Asia in the 1200s. This is leading up to the reset of 476, aka 1476. These same mutants took over India. Look. See? These Mughals or Mongols facilitated the slave trade, which was actually a massive capture and displacement of Aboriginals. Malik Ambar was one of those Kushite Aboriginals. Look. The Kushite Empire actually started in Asia and then went to Africa. Look. Kushite land. Kush means dark. The world was reset or melted down in 1476. There are more pyramids in Asia than Africa. Mountains are meltons. After the meltdown, black Asians ran into Africa to settle it. The fallen had taken over. Africa was the last place to be settled by man. Africa was reserved for cryptids, chimeras, and animals, not man. Cryptids, more cryptids, more human-animal chimeras, which Tarzan depicts, and animals. Europe was reset by barbarian mutants. Asia was reset by the Sinites that bred with the fallen, Genghis Khananites or Canaanites. The same barbarian mutants in Europe came to India, pushing the Aboriginals to the south and remote islands. Like the Andamese people, these are real Indians. Indians. Pakistani. Iranian, real Iranians. Iraqi, real Iraqi. It's the same formula as the Americas. They kill the parents, steal the kids, and scramble the kids throughout the land. Look, it wasn't a slave trade, it was an Aboriginal prisoner of war trade. And all the slave trades peaked around the same time. Late 1700s, mid 1800s. There were no Egyptian pyramids on the maps until the late 1500s. This was a mini meltdown that happened later. But this is why the Sahara is a desert, the grid fried. But this was after the major meltdown of the old world. The locals lost the reset wars, so most of the men were killed off, and the women and children were captured and shipped around their own native lands. The slave trade ledgers were fragmented, fake, or totally absent. And then there were paper genocides and a wiping out through crossbreeding. Paper genocide. The slavery was streamlined by Islam. This incentivized conversion. And they used the Hajj pilgrimage as a cover, just like NGO human traffickers today. These are basically the Seminoles of Asia and the Middle East. History has been totally inverted. People are lost at home, stolen as children, and given a fake history. And there is no incentive to repatriate to a land that will mistreat you. And you will be giving up the land that you were forced to migrate to. India was black.
Lucifer is believed to have been a high-ranking anointed cherub before his fall. So Ezekiel describes him as, having a human face, lion, ox, and eagles, and 4 wings. Those are your cherubims, right? And it tells you that the devil is like a roaring lion. So that's one of the faces. The second face, it says an ox, right? Or a bull. For bull, right? Lord. Lord is for bull. You see? Lion, human, ox, eagle. Adonai will bring a nation against you from far away, from the ends of the earth, like an eagle swooping down, a nation whose language you will not understand. Eagle nations. So, Zeus and his eagle. So Zeus, for Jesus, had an eagle, right? And who gave us Jesus? Rome did. And that's in the Vatican. Zeus and his eagle, Jesus. There goes the eagle nations, and there goes Russia, right? Eagle nations, Putin, New World Order, worship Satan, part of the Brotherhood, because they all work together. They'll tell you the enemies, but they all work together. So in a tabernacle was divided into 4, and it looked like a cross. And in the center was where the Ark of the Covenant was at, right, for our burnt offerings. So it was divided between Judah, which is a lion, Reuben, Ephraim, and Dan. And each of these represented those 4 creatures or animals. Okay, so one of them was a lion, one of them was an ox, one an eagle, and one was a human. So the devil or the cherubim is doing the same thing. You know, so this is the camp, you see? You see how it looks like a cross? You see? So, I'm going to show you these images anyway. I'm going to share them with you in a minute. So, also in the scripture says that the Jews, not really Jews, but the Hebrews, remember that they took a book and they manipulated it and switched words around. So the Hebrews are exiled in Babylon, which is America. So you see the X and the cross, which is the Tav, the mark. Excuse me. Do you see it right there? Excuse me. I apologize for that. Give me a second. It's going to pull up again. Okay, that's the Tav, which is the mark. And here we go. So there goes the bad shepherd. You see? That's the X and the cross, right? And this is a box. It's an open box for the worship of the cube, the black cube of Saturn. That's what it is. Saturn worship. And it tells you in the scriptures, you see? Adonai, are you going to free Joshua from Rome now and restore us as an independent nation, because we're still in bondage under Rome right now to this day?